All right, welcome to another episode of the CBX. We're gonna do a quick video here. This is gonna be we're grading the teams on a draft. So we gonna see who got the best draft. This is just opinion now, uh, and who got the worst end of the draft. And the start it off, we're gonna start off with the elves, who all got elves. Well, obviously, the ones that didn't have draft picks is like definitely on this list. Elves, especially the Arctics and the Huskies. Both the Arctics didn't make the playoffs, so they really needed a draft pick. The Arctics, who was the Jays last year, and the Huskies got bounced quick, fast, in a hurry from the playoffs. They could have used the draft pick. I'm not too hard on the Islanders. They traded their draft picks for Alex English, and the Lumberjacks traded theirs for Kyrie. The 88 traded theirs for Iverson, and the Ballers traded theirs for Weber. So at least they got some value for not having no draft picks this year. So I'm not so hard on those teams. The Snowcat, they was the worst team in the league. You the worst team in the league, you need to be in the lottery. They didn't have but one draft pick coming in, and they wasn't able to purge. They got stuck with a very late draft pick in the second round. I don't see this player starting anytime soon. Gonna be more of a project right now. From what I gather from his roster, he's at the bottom. I mean, he's like the worst overall on the roster. So it may be a wasted pick. As for the Vipers, the Vipers is the one that stands out to me. This team, I feel like didn't really get what they needed, because they just lost Dirk Nowitzki to free agency, and I feel like they didn't replace him with this pick. Moving on to the D's, I'm not really gonna hit everybody, but the ones that stand out to me kind of well, the Kangaroos and the Flames and the Thunderbirds. I feel like they didn't get the type of player that I feel like their team needed. I think the Thunderbirds got a good player, but I don't think they got what they need. For the Mounties, time will tell. I don't think that they got a help for Alonzo. The Royals, to me, I feel like they just got a couple of players who may not be playing in the league long. And the Cougars, they got both their picks, but one of them was the purge pick. They traded for a player. They traded the draft pick for a player during the purge, and they got their pick back during the rebuilding stage. And their first pick was Sack. Well, he was the sixth man of the college, back in college. But I didn't feel like the Cougars needed another guard. The Cougars need help up front. Then they got Randolph, and I don't feel like he's going to be the player. So I feel like the Cougars kind of missed the boat on this one. They got some good players, but I don't feel like they got what they need. And now we're looking at the C's. Oh boy, this is most of the teams here. Looking at the Vikings, man, they was forced to make this pick. So I don't even know how that's going to work. The Explorers and Snow Owls, Nightwings, Yeti, Skyforce, they got what they needed out of these players. I think I would have ranked them higher if they had another draft pick. But they got very good players. These teams got what I feel like they needed. I put my hardbacks here because I got what I wanted. I'm not sure if I got what I got the center that I wanted. There was better centers that I could have gotten. So, but I wanted Nigerian here, and I did get a power forward. So this was pretty much what I was looking for. I didn't get what I was looking for with the power forward, and I didn't get what I should have gotten center. But I did get what I wanted. The Loons, great first pick. Not so much on the second pick. The Polars, great first pick. I'm not sure about the second. And that's pretty much down the line with the Tropics. The Tropics, they got two centers. So I don't know. Well, one, Jarvis, he was injured all year. If he don't work out, then the second center, I guess, is going to work out for him. But you know they lost Ben Wallace. And then the Warbirds, I'm not sure they got what they needed. Frost. Now the Frost had 4 picks. They got off to a good start. They got Barkley, who's considered to be the number 3 player or the number 2, depending on who which one of the rankings you look at. And then Lillard, very good point guard. But instead of rounding things out, they did get a shooting guard, but they got a third guard, which they probably should have got either a center or a big guy. So I kind of dropped them down into the C. The Valor got 4 players. I don't know. They made the playoffs. They didn't purge. They already had these picks. Yeah, they already had these picks. So, but they didn't get any, what I feel like is value. I don't think any of these players is going to be playing too long in the league. Then we're looking at the Bs. The Drillers got a great pick with a Carter. I think he's going to be playing for a while. Fall, we have to wait and see how the rehab's going to be. But if he turns out, that's going to be the steal of the draft. Skyscrapers, this is a new team, so I'm not too hard on them getting a lot of guards because they only had like 2 players when the draft started. So we're going to see how that's going to work out for them. And I feel like the Pride did really good. I know they got a lot of forwards and centers, but I see a young first team and a young second team that they really need to work and piece that together. And they already had some good guards, so they can get their guards next year. So I think the Pride is going to be all right. I think in the long run, I think they're going to be all right. Then we're looking at the A's. The Sea Lions, I think, got the best pick in the draft. I think, baby, even though he was the second pick, I think he's the best player in the draft. From me just watching him play, watching the computer play. Gates was a good pick for a center. Then they got a power forward, good pick. Then they got a guy who can play small forward, or he can play shooting guard. And I was projected for the hardbacks to pick this player, but I didn't pick him. Caribou, who purged, I feel like they got a solid draft as well. As far as I know that they got Moore and Ball. I know they got a lot of forwards and centers, but they rebuilding a team. So out of this, I can see a first and second team on the front. So now I think they need to start working on the back end. But the best pick, I think, overall team was the Comets. They drafted 6 players. They got Gilbert, who's a pretty good player, and he's a great player. Murdoch is a pretty good player as well. He basically fell down the draft to them to get that second pick. Lottery. He fell to him. And so they got the point guard and they got the shooting guard. And then when you look at what they did afterwards, after the lottery, getting Bale and Okafor and these other 2 centers, I'm pretty sure they can piece a front court out of that. And if it was me, my 5 starters would come out of this draft class. And go on and get those guys used to playing with each other, starting and just working on the future. And that's what you're supposed to do when you purge and give up your draft picks and give up a star player. That's what you're supposed to do. Because they gave up Kyrie when they was the Stallions. They gave up Kyrie. So this is what you're supposed to do. This is what the purge is supposed to do. To allow you to build your team through the draft in 1 year. So we're gonna see how that's gonna work out for them. So that's it. That's my grading. At least that's the way I see it. I'm pretty sure y'all might see it differently. So let me know who you think did well and who you think didn't do well. We'll see you in the next episode. Go over free agency, go over the rosters, the starting lineups, and then we'll be moving on to getting the season started. Season 2. I can't wait. So until then, you have a good one.